Okay, so you're playing Tryndamere versus Yasuo, and you said this is your first Trynd mid game back into playing the champ. You know, champ mastery is going to be a big focal point, but you wholeheartedly believe this game was your fault for not carrying because you're so far ahead. I think it's a great VOD for learning fundamentals. Okay. Okay, so first off, I like your runes, I like Tryndamere into Yasuo. The only thing I would say if you are gonna be playing like pretty much exclusively bruisers or yeah, I guess like bruisers or top lane champions mid, is it could be useful to have like one AP champ in your champion pool. So like decent AP bruisers mid. I guess like Swain, if you count that, like Gwen would be another option. Just because like okay, like you can obviously in lower elo, it's not as big a deal, but I think if you can avoid a full AD comp, it is kind of good, but obviously it's not really relevant to the game. And of course, you will be able to win this game regardless, but just like for your champion pool, it could be really nice to have one AP champ. Okay, so now you were maybe just AFK here, but this is actually a really big deal. Let me just check if you can see my mouse. Yeah. Okay, so this is a really, really big deal. Like, contesting the wave at level 1 is super important because whoever gets control of the first wave will hit level 2 first. So, like, if you're not here and this guy's getting to push for free, it pretty much, it affects your entire laning phase because it's like, if they play this well, it can be like a slow push, like 3-wave crash. That means they get level 2 first, level 3 first. They also get an aggressive ward. So, the first 3 waves are the most important 3 waves of the game, in my opinion. So it's really, really important that you play these well. In my mind, it's like, if you're winning the matchup, typically you want to crash 3 waves, although not always, but most of the time. And I think this is like sort of not that great for you. Like you can fight on level 1, but it like okay, if you had creep advantage or you were evening creeps, you can probably just like E onto this guy and like win the trade as long as you have like a fair amount of rage before you do it. But here it's like there's no way you can win this trade because he's got like 5 creeps to your 2. So you should realize here that already the lane is not really going how you want it to. I should change dual vision. Like I think this is this is not too bad because it's like again you're pretty strong right now, but I think if this guy's like kind of respecting too much, I think if he walked up and got level 2 first, he would just be able to fight you even though you had your rage. Like I think he's playing way too safe given that he has like minion advantage over you. Yeah, so you're gonna get kind of traded on here. I think you should fight him now, probably. Maybe you just can't. But yeah, it's like either way, this yeah, okay, no, this is really bad. Like your first 3 waves have honestly just like completely fucked your lane. Like this is a very winning matchup, and you can see because every trade he does has like level advantage and has minion advantage because you've given him control of the first 3 waves, it's making your life really, really difficult, even though you're in like the winning matchup. And also means that you can never like use your winning matchup to get any wards on like jungle camps or in a river or anything. So yeah, like I always say, the first 3 waves are the most important 3 waves of the game, and because they like set the okay, think of it like this. If you play your first 3 waves well, right, you should have an advantage in like HP or whatever or gold, and then on your first base you can turn that into a bigger advantage by getting an item advantage, and then with that item advantage you can extend that with like denying them even more CS or stuff like that. But if you start falling behind to begin with, you never really get to do any of that. So the first 3 waves, it's yeah, it's really, really important. Like if you play the rest of the lane badly, it's honestly just a lot easier. Like you can play the rest of the lane badly, and I'll be like not okay with it, but more understanding. But you have to play the first 3 waves better. Like just imagine if instead every one of these trades like you'd had minion advantage. Imagine you were eing in like level 3, level 2, as opposed to like what's happened here. I think you are sort of winning anyway because you have more sustain anyway, and he's taking like quite a lot of bad trades. And like okay, now it's the reverse, right? So now you actually have the minion advantage. So if he trades with you now, like you will win for sure. But the way it should go is like with your first 3 waves, you build up a big enough an advantage that by the time it bounces back out, like it's bouncing back to him, he should be ahead. So he EQs onto you. I think he's just dead. Like, especially now that you're level 4. Okay, this ward, it doesn't really do that much for you. I don't think you're really gankable this game because Amumu's just like not really a champ early. But I'm pretty sure, let's just go back. This was 327. we go back here, you can tell at level 1 like where the jungler starts normally, so let's just look. Okay, so it looks like bot didn't leash, and top did leash, so 99% chance that they started top, which means that, like, basically at around 3:30ish, or like 2:30ish, around this time anyway, you can expect Amumu to be bot side, so if we just turn this on, yep, so we know Amumu is bot side. I'll just check to make sure. But yeah, we know Amumu is bot side, right? So it's like, first off, you're warding the wrong side of the lane. Like, there's basically no chance that Amumu is on this side of the lane. And also, it's like, if Amumu is on this side of the lane, he's never going to gank you through this bush. He's always going to walk around. So it's like, if you want to ward this, you should ward, like, literally just, like, right here. Or ideally that bush. But, like, if you need to get back to your lane quickly, you just ward, like, right here. But ideally, like, this ward is, like, quite a bit earlier. And it's on the bot side. And then you would have spotted Amumu, right? So, yeah. This is also partly because, like, you didn't get to ward for a while because you were stuck under tower, even though you had the winning matchup. So, partly because of that as well. I will point out, yeah, okay, this is actually something you've done well, I would say. I'm not sure you did it on purpose, but even if you ward to the wrong side, as long as you hug towards it, like you're doing now, like you're hugging the top side rather than the bot side, you will probably still be safe from ganks. Okay, well, they can't do anything to you, like I said. Oh, what the fuck? Oh my god, you guys just destroyed them. Okay, nicely played. So here you should actually just base. So right here, as you can see, the enemy has like 3 creeps to your 1, right? And this next wave is coming. So this wave will not crash. So it's actually ideal if you base right now and you let this wave freeze, because it's going to deny this entire cannon wave and you will come back to a frozen wave. So pushing it, it's basically just going to give Yasuo this cannon wave for free, because he's going to be back in time to clear it. Like, let's see. He probably loses 1. Yeah, he loses 1 creep, right? Because 1, it takes you a long time to push a cannon wave, and 2, it takes a long time for a cannon wave to die in the tower. So, like, right now, if instead of clearing... You can clear that 1 creep if you want, but okay, 3 creeps to 1, basically. This wave's coming. If you just base right here, your base time will be pretty much mashed with Yasuo, and then you will just come back, and the wave will be frozen. He'll probably lose most of this wave, and then you're looking really, really good. Because you're going to come back, you're going to be, like, probably higher level in a second. You're going to have a huge item advantage, so the game should be pretty much over here. But if you shove it to him, it makes it a lot easier for him. He gets a wave for free, and also he's going to shove another wave for free. So basically you give Yasuo 2 waves for free here because of poor wave control. I would freeze this if I were you. It's okay to build up some rage, but I probably wouldn't attack these creeps. Other than last hitting. Which, okay, nice. I like it. This is good wave control. Oh, no. Okay, so, like, you need to think, like, what can you do with your priority? Because when you push mid, pushing mid does give you some things, but it also denies you other things. So, like, when you push mid, right, you get the opportunity to do stuff. You can take turret plates, you can take camps, you can ward the jungle, you can roam. Now, Tryndamere is not very good at any of these things at this stage of the game. Can you take turret plates from Yasuo right now? No. Can you farm jungle camps? No. Can you roam bot when they're full HP under their tower? No. So the only thing you could do right now is ward. And warding is, like, admittedly valuable. But I think it's like, if you keep the wave here, right now, Yasuo can't fight you. Look at the item difference. If this guy comes to lane, as long as you have some rage, if you just E into him and ghost on him, he probably dies. Like, I don't think he can really fight back against you. And again, it's like, if you push the wave, normally pushing the wave gives you an advantage, but then freezing the wave extends the advantage. So, like, you push the wave early game to get, like, level advantage and stuff, right? But you don't push the wave now because you already have an advantage, and you can look to extend it further by just keeping it here. So, like, you see Yasuo bot, right? Which is, I think, is why you push this. But, like, I don't know. If you freeze this, he just loses the wave. You can push it and maybe take a turret plate, but, like, this guy should just be turning around right now. Like, this is not a kill, so if Yasuo just turns around right now, he comes back to mid and catches it. So, I guess you pushed it because Yasuo showed bot, but I think... well... It's more just because Yasuo's trolling. And actually, you didn't even end up really getting anything off it anyway. So... And once again, the wave state is really good for Yasuo. Because you can see, like, even though you're so much stronger, level 6 or level 5 item advantage, if the wave is up here, as opposed to, like, on your side in a melee versus melee matchup, you don't really have enough room to run them down. That's why melee versus melee, once you have an advantage, if you can freeze, it's really, really broken. But just because, like, the only way you can really, like, trade on this... Okay, well, it's kind of ending. But the only way you can really trade on him here is by diving him. Although, I think you could dive him. I'm, like, 90% sure you could dive him here. Okay, you're out. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure here, by the way, with all your rage, if you just, like, after this guy uses his NATO, if you just E into him and ghost, I'm pretty sure he's dead. I'm like 99% sure he's dead, and I'm pretty sure you can get out with your ult. So it's like here, full rage, ult advantage, item advantage, you have ghost, he has no flash. I'm almost certain, like 99% sure he's dead. So, pretty sure you could have extended your limits there, but it's not the end of the world. You ghost out of this. Was this your ward, by the way? Yeah, this was your ward. Okay, I'll quickly, just very quickly. So, let's see. Okay, this is a good ward. Don't get me wrong. It could be slightly better. The only risk about warding right here, as opposed to right here, is that you can still get ganked through this path or through this path, and you don't see a Mumu entering the river. So, you're probably fine because it's like a Mumu, right? It doesn't have the strongest ganks. But I think if this ward were a little bit better, it gives you a lot of safety. But this is still a really good ward. This is like, okay, we could optimize it and make it a tiny bit better. But this is a really good ward anyway. So I'm pretty happy with it. Could be a tiny bit better, but it's fine. So yeah, we could have killed that guy. But again, I like that you're hugging to the correct side of the lane. Oh, actually, are you? I think you could maybe be a bit more aware of like where you should be hugging to. Like again, just be very aware of like hugging to the side. Actually, I think you saw a Mumu, but... Anyway, it's like hugging to the side, you have vision, so you should always be playing in like this side of the lane. And I think right here, you make it a little too easy for them. Like again, do you have to be super careful? Not really, but it's like, you know, there's a very big difference between being positioned here and being positioned like here even, right? That little bit of extra distance is the difference between them being able to catch you or not. So, that's fine. Now, I'm not sure what you're doing here. I guess you're trying to cheese a Mumu. Yeah, no, this is really, really strange. So, like right here, after this, the next wave is coming. So the way you should think about this is whenever you get a mid wave, right, it gives you a turn to do something, right? Whether that's like invading or you know, camps or whatever. But right now, you don't have a turn. Like you need to come catch this wave. This is 150 gold right here. So you should be coming back mid to catch this. And like right now, you're not really strong enough to do this camp. And even if you do, it's like you're giving up the mid-wave for it. And you're really low HP anyway. So this is really, really bad because you lose all... Like, you get Raptors, which is nice, but you gave up a turret plate, you gave up an entire wave, and now you're kind of just, like, too low to pressure anything. So, again, Yasuo just kind of gets, like, a freebie, right? Like, if we go back to all the way here, like, you're actually still pretty strong here, you know? You've got ult. This guy's still level 5, or he's 6 now, but, like, I'm pretty sure you could still fight him at this point, especially after you sustain off this wave. So Yasuo is still in trouble. But, like, despite him being behind, he's, like, denying you waves and denying you plates. So this is really weird. Just, like, pay more attention to your mid waves, basically. Okay, you come mid. Like, Yasuo's in control, even though he shouldn't be. Yeah, this is really bad, because, like, you're going to be stuck on the map for a long time here with not really a way to pressure it. Like, one thing you should think about is getting chunked is almost as bad as dying, because it's like, if you're 20% HP like you are now, you don't get like, you can't deny him by freezing. You can't, like, get priority on any of these waves. If there's a skirmish in the river, like, you can't really help. So being on the map here, it sucks. Like, I would say if you're staying here, you have to get this honey fruit. Otherwise, you just, like, can't do anything. Well, yeah, I feel like you can't really base now because the mistake is already made. But you should just realize how bad this is. Like, again, you're strong early. You have a winning matchup and you're ahead. And you're just, like, you're losing, basically. Like, right now, even though you're ahead, you're, like, losing. He has control. He's getting first move into the river, which should never really be possible. Or at least if he does, he should lose a ton of creeps for it. Like, your team sees him coming, like, ages away, and they still manage to die. So this isn't, like, your fault. But it's, like, it's not your fault that they died to this. But if you had played better, they wouldn't have died to this. Do you know what I mean? Do you see the difference? It's like, you know, your team, after they see Yasuo, should back off. But it's solo queue, you can't really trust them to do so. So you've just kind of got to play better and make sure this doesn't happen. But good punish. You take the play. And now Yasuo is still bot, so you should still keep pushing. Like, it's tempting to base here, obviously, because you have a lot of gold. But if Yasuo is still making this play, you should still be punishing. Deny another wave. take another plate. If you just base here, like Yasuo is doing this stuff for free, and you're not. You see how he's not getting punished for it? Kha'Zix better be able to kill this guy. I'm actually not sure he can. Oh my god. Yes, this is really depressing, obviously. But this is, yeah, this like entire sequence of events I think you could have prevented if you'd been playing better. But this is good. You come mid out of base. That's a kill on the Swain for sure. Maybe kill on Caitlyn as well. Oh, she flashed in. She's so fucking dead. Oh, you got trapped. Okay, nice. You guys get kills. Now, once again, here, I think you should freeze this wave. So, unless you can dive Yasuo on the tower, there's nothing else you can really do right now. Like, I think you could ward right here and then come back to this frozen wave. But you can't really roam. Top's full HP. No one's in bot lane. I don't think you can dive Yasuo. So right now the most pressuring play is to freeze this wave. But you're going to clear it out. I think if you go and ward right now, you can probably get this ward down before Yasuo gets here. So then you can get the best of both worlds. You can get a ward down and you can freeze. But like, because you push this all the way in again, rather than the wave being frozen with Yasuo having no way to farm it without dying, he gets another free wave. So, pretty bad. I don't think you win this. I think you have to just run. Also, another thing worth bringing up is that you are typically safer from ganks when the wave is frozen. Just in general, like, not all the time. It's very important that you don't just, like, freeze literally every wave, because sometimes there are waves you should push, right? Especially in the early game. But as, like, a general thing, in melee versus melee, freezing and, like, having the wave on your side is extremely important. Because melees tend to be gankable. They also can't farm from range. And whichever melee is ahead can typically just all in the other, and, like, the other one can't really do anything. Just as good. You come back to the wave. You should push here, obviously, because, like, dragon's up. Like, there's actually things to fight for at the moment. This is really good by you. I even like hitting the plate here. Like, you can always... Yeah, okay. Very nice. I really like what you did there. No idea what this guy's doing, but he... Okay, whatever. But you probably just have to respect a bit while Swain's here. You win 2v2? Probably not. You don't have ult. I think here, just farm. We're chilling. Yeah, there's not too much you can do here just because, like, we're not sure where everyone is on the map. When you have ult, I think you could be... Okay, you're going pretty aggressive now. Okay, yeah, you have Pike around. I like it. Okay, yeah. Holy shit, you kind of just rolled that guy even without ult. So nice. Push this wave in. I think you could take one plate and then I'd probably base. How much gold do you have? So you have Mythic for sure. Okay, this is interesting. I'm not sure I'm a huge fan. Okay, so let me go back. It's like, I think the Raptors were maybe a bit too greedy. So once again, it's like, okay, if you get this plate and E out, right? Like, let's just say you run this way. You're out and you can base and spend your 1500 gold and then you're really ready to pressure the map. Like, you'll be so strong. You're so ahead of Yasuo. It's looking really good. Now, if you take this camp, obviously it's more gold, but it's really going to fuck your base timing because it's like, okay, if you base right now, let's say we base in this bush, then you're going to lose this wave when Yasuo pushes it in. So we don't really want that because we're so far ahead that we just like don't need to let that happen basically, right? But then it's also like if we try and crash this wave, we kind of need our jungle to help us. And once again, Yasuo, despite being behind, is in control of the lane. Like, do you see that? See how that's happened? Like, because you overstayed on the map again, he's gotten 2 more waves for free. And if you just, I think after hitting that turret plate, like right all the way back here, if after hitting this plate, you would just eat away and then like recalled in this bush, I think you could base and then be on the... Could you? I think you could probably be mid at a similar time to Yasuo, maybe a little bit later. But you would have spent your gold and you'd definitely be able to contest the wave after. Like, okay, maybe Yasuo still gets priority on this wave, but like, you would definitely not let him get that wave for free. So once again... Oh, also, you should not run bot here. It's tempting to run bot because these guys are really pushed up to tower. Maybe you can. Like, half your wave's already dead. I think normally you should just go for the wave, but you base too late, so you're going to lose this wave anyway. So actually, I think it's kind of fine. Or even good. Trapped. Okay. Well, you get the shutdown. It's really good. You should just run back mid. So you can get the farm. Is this Panther top? Yeah, it is. This guy's the flash, surely, right? You actually get out. Holy shit. I think you're fine too. Oh my god, you want back in? Yeah, you bait him a little. What is going on? Okay, either way, you... Okay, come top. I actually like this. You don't have to reset yet. No one can contest you here. I'd say... How much gold do you have? I'd say push this wave and then probably base again so you can be back on the map. Or you could... if they go for drag... Let's look at your vision. I think right now I would probably base. Just because, like, okay, if they're all posturing around dragon, you can probably get this for free. But I think because they're not doing dragon, like, most likely someone is walking to you. And I think it'd be really good to be back on the map. Because, like, once again, you overstay for turret damage. Now, if there are plates, it's more acceptable. But, like, realize that turret damage doesn't convert into anything until the turret dies, you know? Like, once the turret dies, you get a huge chunk of gold. But just damage on the tower obviously doesn't give you any gold, right? It's not like you get 20 gold per auto attack you get on this. So the problem is, like, once again, we've overstayed on the map. And now we're going to lose something. It's like, okay, we can farm these Krugs, but we're losing this top wave. Because you're too low, you have to give up this tower. So because you overstayed on the map, you ended up losing more gold. Oh yeah, and now you like walked into a GP. So you're forced to flash. So yeah, this is really, really bad. So your base timings need to improve a lot. This guy's going to suicide for the tower, I'm guessing. Okay, no, he's trying to run. I think he should have suicided for the tower. Yeah, there's no way he gets away from you. Okay, good. So we get this kill. Now here, okay, taking red, I like it. And then we should just push top as far as possible, basically. So you push top tower. It would be good if you could... I would have stayed on blue trinket, yellow trinket, just so you can drop like a ward here. Or like, yeah, ward here and like pink here or something. Again, it's like, when you're side laning as Trynd, there's not that many champs that can gank you. But I think just in general, like, having vision so that you can keep split pushing is normally more important. Yeah, than having red trinket. Did he get that or did you get that? I think he got that. So you lose, like, okay, this is honestly, it's really, really bad, right? Like I said before, if you get chunked, it's almost as bad as dying. Because right here, you are so fucking strong. You're a Tryndamere, full HP, ult, ghost, and you're 5-0. No one can stop you at this moment, right? But because you walk in and you get chunked, because, like, you get chunked by a Mumu, and then, like, we stay too long, like, even here, you probably keep running that way. And now you lose more HP to Gangplank. It's like, no longer are you a 5-0 Tryndamere that can pressure the map. Now you're like 20% HP, you have no ghost, you can't do anything. So it doesn't matter that you're 5-0. It wouldn't even matter if you're 30-0 at this point, because you can't do anything, right? Like, you've lost all your pressure because you got chunked. You have to go away and, like, AFK farm for a while, get back to full HP, instead of being able to, like, fully control this area, like, keep Gangplank pinned under his tower. So, yeah, not a huge fan of how you played that. Here, you should just be back on top wave. There's no way you can contest that. You should just be, like, rage splitting the side lane, pretty much. How much gold do you have? 19. Okay. Yeah, I think you could have kept going, but you have items, so, like... Yeah, I like the base. I like the base. Come mid out of base. I feel like this is kind of a waste of time. I think you should be running straight bot, honestly. Just like Tryndamere in general, not really a great team fighter. I guess if you have... I don't know, you have Twitch coming for the flank, but this Twitch is so weak. He's like 0-7. I think here, you honestly just like run straight to this bot tower. But it's a bit harder. Like, I don't mind you being here, but I just don't think you're going to be able to do much. Yeah, like, see, you're just like not that useful in a team fight, especially not on these items. Like, you're really, really strong in the side lane, but that's not really like... You don't really want that. And then you should be bot here, not Pantheon. Maybe he doesn't know, but... Why is your whole team bot? Like, I think you should be in this wave, but, like, if Twitch is on that wave, then you should probably just base and go top, like, just to make sure you keep getting farmed. You take the... Yeah, I think what you did here is, well, maybe not optimal? What should we do? Because this is the first time this game where I think you've kind of been a victim of your team. Like here, you should be bot, not Pantheon. Actually, if you had gone bot earlier, you would have got here and then Pantheon wouldn't have gone to it. So you probably still could have fixed it. But it's like at this point, I think you just... Honestly, you just base and go top. Because it's like, if this guy's farming this wave and Twitch is going to farm mid wave, if you just base right now and go like Krugs and top wave, at least you're still getting farmed. Waiting around here, you don't get any CS for a while. You can see you've been on like 148 forever. You lose a top tower because you're out of position. So I think it's better if you're bot, but ultimately you do have to kind of adapt to your team. And then also this giant wave dying under tower. Really not optimal. Like this Caitlyn is not worth that, I don't think. Ooh, I don't think you should flash for her either. Have to ult. Yes, this is all pretty bad. Like if you'd based, been top before, pushed this all the way out, then you could have come to this drag, but because your top wave is fucked, like no one can really get to drag. So the lane assignments in the mid game could definitely be improved quite a lot. You're doing good camp farming though, I like that. Okay, base. Should you have base? Yeah, your team kind of needs help holding, I think. Or maybe not. Okay, I think it's fine. You're gonna get a flank here. Okay. I think you just kill everyone here, right? Yeah, okay. Really good, you're 7-0. Push out this wave. Now, go back bot. Like, okay, you can go wolves here, but the problem is, it's like, if you spend too much time farming camps, you won't actually pressure. Like, right now, it's fine to take this Gromp because the wave's only here, right? But I think after this Gromp, you honestly shouldn't go wolves, and you should just go bot wave and tower. Because it's like, if you go wolves here, it's too far for you to walk back bot, you know? It's just going to take you so long to get back to this bot wave. Like, this tower should be dead now, and you should be, like, up here, taking Krugs. But because you went, like, the extra camp, it just takes you forever to get in a position to pressure. And also, if this were a higher level game, if you show bot now, like, okay, if you're bot pressuring here, you're a lot more threatening, right? But if this is a challenge level game and you show bot with the entire enemy team alive and you're not, like, threatening their base, they will just start Baron. So this is not something you're going to have to worry about in silver, most likely. But if you're a high elo, that would be a problem. So, yeah, those wolves were extremely greedy. Okay, Moon became bot for some reason, whatever. Also worth noting that you didn't even end up getting this tower. How much gold do you have? So you have IE here, right? Yeah, okay. Makes sense. You base. I think you run... Ooh. I probably would have ran bot and shoved this out, but... Okay, if you want to let Panth bot because he has ult, and you flank, it's fine. I think it's fine. You have a good flank. Caitlyn's most valuable target. Nice, you're hitting her. Yeah, nice, you played this really well. Yasuo next. Probably out now. Nice. Yeah, team fighting is really good. You hit the right target. You played it on your limits. I really like that. Really like the team fighting. This guy's fucking dead. Nice. This is all super good, by the way. You guys should... You probably just have to go dragon, I think. Yeah, like here it would be nice to clear out top, but like you kind of have to fight drag, I think. You come here, you're really strong again. Caitlyn, Yasuo are your targets. You find a flank, really nice. I'm actually pretty impressed with your team fighting. Like you're consistently finding flanks, and you're gonna, well, so far you've been hitting the right people, so... Nice. You baited out a lot of cooldowns as well. And you guys are getting dragged. So this is all good. I think now, though, you probably just base and go top. Actually, cutting the wave. I kind of like it. It's kind of smart. Red. Okay, yeah, this is real good. And you have flank on your Caitlyn again. Okay, yeah, Yasuo is a good target as well. Okay, he's dead. Nice. Gangplank next. Very nice. Your target prioritization is extremely good. Here, you should be hitting Swain and not a Mumu. That's like literally my only complaint. Like in my mind, Caitlyn's most valuable, then Yasuo, then Gangplank. And so like here you can't hit Caitlyn, right? So we kill Yasuo first. You maybe could have hit Caitlyn a little earlier, but like it's almost perfect, I would say. Then this guy dies. Now you're hitting Gangplank next. Very, very nice. I think here, like Amumu, when Amumu runs out of cooldowns like and doesn't have ult, he's fucking useless. So just hit Swain instead. Because all these orders that you put into Amumu, if they're on Swain, the fight looks even better. I think. I think you would be able to kill him. Here, you should probably base, I think. Okay. Actually, yeah, if you don't need a base, taking camps is good. Okay, nice. Really good. I think you just kill this guy. He went that way. I think you probably could have killed him. You were like level 17 or level 13. Okay, you're extremely strong. I would honestly consider... I was gonna say consider defensive item. Do you need a defensive item? What would we buy? Okay, if you did want a defensive item, like either Randuin's versus their... I think actually, yeah, probably instead of Bork, you should go Randuin's. Like, I'm thinking, like, at this point, you do so much damage that you don't really need any more damage, right? I'm pretty sure if you go Randuin's, you're unkillable to Caitlyn, Gangplank, Yasuo, given that they're all... Well, Gangplank doesn't really have any crit yet, but these two are crit users, right? And then, if you went, like, last item, Spirit Visage, Force of Nature, like some MR item, could be really good as well. So I think here, you don't really need more damage. Like, no one can beat you in the side lane. You really don't need more damage. I think the game would be a lot easier if you bought a defensive item here. Just generally, it's sort of hard for melee champions to build, like, literally full damage. Tryndamere, I guess, is somewhat an exception. Can normally build an extra damage item compared to other champs because of his ult. But I think it would just make the game a lot easier here if you had, like, a Randuin's or something. Like, then Caitlyn would actually do nothing to you. Same with Yasuo. But honestly, like, Bork is fine too. I don't think it's like a huge... It's not like a huge thing. Push out mid-wave. I think, yeah, there's not much you can do side laning at this point in the game because, like, you don't have TP, right? Like, if you go bot, they just do Baron. So at this point, you're kind of forced to just group and team fight. And your kind of window to take over the game just by pushing was in this, like, mid-game period here. So you don't really have that much potential for split pushing anymore, just because it's a bit too late in the game. But yeah, and I don't think you can really... You could maybe look at Caitlyn here, although you kind of die for free. Quite hard for you to get in here. I think you just push out mid-wave. Yeah, I like this. This is smart. Do they just end without a wave? What's going on? Okay. Is this guy based? Oh, there's two. Okay, you still killed one. I think you could have got out here, by the way. Like, I'm pretty sure after you killed this Yasuo, how long do you have on ult? Ult's like, what, like 1.5 seconds? You don't have E. I think after you auto him once to get your spin back, if you just E away and run with Ghost, I think you're out. Because, like, you actually stayed... Even here, you might still be able to E out. But it's like, you go back in and try and just, like, win with your lifesteal, right? But you just don't do enough damage to him. So... Because if you live here and you base, you can actually contest this dragon. I feel like things that kind of happen at this point in the game, it's like, yeah, obviously if you do them better, it'll affect the game. But there was so many chances to win the game before now that you shouldn't worry too much about, like, niche situations from here on out, I would say. But, like, I'll still bring them up, right? But the real chances to win the game were a long time ago, I think. Ooh, Caitlyn's separate? This is really good. Oh, I wish... You need a path around traps. I've noticed you just, like, walk on them for free a lot this game. I think even before, there was, like, a lot of times where... Like, you can definitely path around the traps, right? Like, you know you're gonna get trapped. I think here, it's like... All you need to do, just walk to the right, and she's probably dead. Or even save your flash for a trap. Like, rather than... Like, you didn't really need to flash in here, right? Because you knew she was gonna come anyway. Like, you can literally just stand here, wait for Caitlyn to walk a bit closer, then you can EW her. You know, like, yeah. I don't think you played this very well. And walking on traps for free, obviously, not ideal. If you have a Randuin's, probably just destroy her. I think now, yeah, the game is sort of over, right? Yeah, okay. Let's get the notepad. Where is it? Okay, so early game, there's a lot of stuff you can improve in the early game. So I'd say like your wave control, both your first three waves, like as well as it's like in melee versus melee. I think in my laning guide, you should really watch my laning guide and just watch the melee versus melee section. There's like quite a bit in there, I think. I actually can't remember even what I talked about, but in melee versus melee, wave control is very, very important. Wave control is just important in every matchup, but your wave control could be a lot better. I think your warding could improve quite a bit. Your hugging was good. Could maybe be a little better, like which side of the wave or of the lane you're hugging to. Trading and stuff was mainly good. They're also okay. Base timings throughout the whole game was like a really big issue. Like getting chunk is as bad as dying, pretty much, and also like overstaying on the map with no pressure is really, really bad. Like that happened pretty much all throughout the game. Was there anything else in the early game? I feel like those were the main things. I mean, they were pretty big things, especially the wave control and base timings. I guess just like you're like laning fundamentals generally. Like when to trade, like wave control, like matchup knowledge, all that sort of stuff could improve quite a bit. And then in the mid game, I actually thought your team fighting was pretty good. Like I almost always have to bring up team fighting, but I actually think your team fighting was quite good. You hit the right targets, you were aware of the right threats. I guess like the biggest problem for you in team fighting was maybe that I feel like you didn't really play around the Caitlyn trap at all. That would be like my only real critique, but I actually think your team fighting was quite good. Mid game, like there was times where the side laning could be quite a lot better. Like getting chunked for free was like really bad. Once again, like the mid game warding was really bad. Base timings, like it was just like the same sort of things coming up over and over for you. So yeah, I kind of feel like I explained it better, like just during the game. And then maybe like a little bit of itemization. Like I think Randuin's fourth would have gone crazy this game, but like it's not a huge deal, I think. Okay, so my opinion, for you to work on the biggest things, first off, probably, well, I'm gonna put like laning in general, but I think wave control specifically could improve a ton. And then I think as a result of that, you're like, well, yeah, like you're warding slash hugging like both of this, so like you should be looking for deeper wards and hugging the correct side more often. I think you will naturally kind of get deeper wards if you have more control of the lane. Like, you know, if you get times to push and then you ward and then you freeze, you know, obviously you can't really ward while you're freezing, but like if you ward when it's pushed and then you freeze, you're in a really, really good spot. So I think if you improve this, it'll make you a lot safer against like stronger ganking junglers. Also, the wards will be in more valuable positions. The base timings is really, really big. So you give so much back to Yasuo even though you're stronger. So it's like all throughout the game, like you like want to stay, I guess like consider your like resources slash gold. Like ideally you stay on the map pretty much as long as you can effectively pressure the map. You know, like if you're ever basing with full HP, it feels really weird because you can pressure a lot then, right? The only time you'd ever base with full HP is if you have a shit ton of gold. But a lot of the time, you're staying on the map to get a little bit more gold, and then you like really mess up your base timing, and you're like out of resources, you have no HP, you have a lot of gold, and you can't really pressure the map. So consider your resources slash gold. Try base when you won't lose at anything. You know, like if Yasuo is dead, that's like an ideal time to base after pushing one wave so that they get denied it. Yeah, I'd say these are honestly like the three biggest things. And just like as a concept, like getting chunked is as bad as dying. I really want you to think about that because, you know, if you get chunked in the side lane, like when you're 5-0, suddenly you can't do anything for like a minute. So that's really bad. But yeah, I would say these are the biggest things. I really think if you work on just like, if you watch my laning thing, especially for melee versus melee, think about your wave control, it'll make a really, really big difference. And I think if you, like, yeah, I brought it up so many times this game, but like the base timings, if you fix this, you will find like you have so much more pressure on the map and your opponents will not get so much breathing room. So I'll copy paste this to Fiverr. Let me know if you have any questions about anything. And good luck on the climb, man. I think you're pretty close to gold, honestly.